like science.
I like science.
I like science.
Ready to get cozy?
Science.
Was there ever a cozier episode of Star Trek ever? Just
Such a weird
deliberately
episode.
paced and
Yep.
just that old aspect ratio, that old 4:3.
Yep. At first it's jarring, but then after a little while you just accept it.
Oh yeah. It's like, oh
Until
yeah,
you
we're
watch
just watching
something
a
of
square.
Yeah, until you watch something in widescreen and then you're like, "Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Yep.
That exists. That's a thing now." Yeah. So imagine if they'd had that technology back in the 80s. I think that the series would have been filmed very differently.
Yeah, everything would have been filmed differently if it was widescreen.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, this week, if you remember, if you didn't listen to last week's episode, well, shame on you. But if you did, you'll know that this week we are talking about Star Trek: The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 18, Allegiance. This is not something that I remembered from the title, and it took me about halfway through the episode before I remembered it at all.
Yeah, I could see people forgetting about this one.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Because it's not an episode that like moves the needle any.
No, but that's the thing. That's not what Next Generation did. That's not what
Yeah.
Voyager did. Deep Space Nine started doing that. But before that, it was just the whole, make this fit in any timeline. Make this
Right.
fit for someone to watch in any sequence.
Yeah,
in
that way
any
when it was
order.
in syndication, you could watch any episode and just not get confused.
Yeah, but you still did, didn't you?
Yeah.
You still did, because still there were some cast changes along the way and things
Yep.
like that. And it's just a dumb idea but that was just the way things have always been done with
Yep.
television. And so they just kept doing the same things that were always being done and expecting a different result. And then along came Babylon 5 and
Oh, yeah.
Deep Space Nine. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, holy shit, we can do this.
Yep.
We can do this now. And still, it took another 5 years or so before that really started becoming a thing.
Yeah.
So,
And then once you got like streaming services, it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, now we can really seriously long form it.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, here we are in TNG era, and they've just wrapped up a mission where they have eliminated the Phylox plague on a planet that I did
Yet another
not
plague.
I didn't pay attention enough to write down the name of the planet. So sorry about that. But I got
Yet another
Phylox
plague planet.
Yeah,
Planet
another
plague.
plague planet. And they're supposed to be rendezvousing.
Rondoing? Supposed to be rondoing with the hood. They're going to the hood. The Star Trek boys in the hood.
I've lost my damn mind, you guys. They're supposed to be rendezvous. And they need to get there double quick time. I don't know exactly why they needed to rendezvous with the hood, but they did. So we'll just go with it. And
Meanwhile, there's like a catastrophe happening on the hood, and they desperately need the Enterprise to get there as soon as possible.
yeah, I don't think that's it. I think that they were probably going to meet up, exchange notes, and go off and cure more plagues, is what my
Yeah,
guess
that's
was.
it. Hey, rendezvous with
yeah.
the hood, shoot the shit, then go
Yeah.
about your business.
And then 2001 Pillar appears above Picard.
Oh yeah,
while
we
he's
get the
reading.
monolith showing up and then does a glitter bomb on Picard, and then he disappears.
Those are so hard to clean up. Don't do that.
Yep.
Come on, alien species. Don't do that. That's rude. And I can't read my own handwriting without putting on my glasses, and I can't
And
find
then
my
he
glasses.
shows up in a jewelry store
Yep, that's
where
it.
there's two other prisoners that he completely ignores as
At
he
first.
tries to make contact with the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a
Well, of
hello,
course, that's
not
his
even a
first
nod
order
or
of
a
business.
wave.
Well, that's because he needed to. His first duty is to his crew. So
It's not to that booty?
It's not to that booty.
Okay.
My first duty is to that booty.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I've got the
Duty,
giggles.
as Picard would say.
Duty. D-U-T. That's
with the
how all
liquid
British people
U.
say it.
Duty.
That's what all British people do,
Yep.
or English for sure. Yeah, and then we
Yorkshiremen.
realize, yeah, they've detected this strange energy reading in Picard's headquarters. I almost said
Yep.
headquarters.
His headquarters.
Yeah.
He's actually Cobra Commander and hasn't told anybody.
I was I was thinking more oh God, fuck, X-Men. Yeah,
Ah.
yeah,
Oh, he has
that
Charles Xavier.
yeah, Xavier. I
And
couldn't
his
think
school
of
for
that
gifted
word.
children are actually child soldiers, which gets brought up with Cyclops in the comic. It's like, oh
Good.
yeah, you made this poor guy into a child soldier, and that's like really traumatized him.
hmm Yeah, imagine that.
Yep.
So yeah, so when Worf gets to the captain's quarters, the captain's there, and so we go da da
Yep.
da imposter. But the
Yeah, it's
the
kind of funny the Timu Picard in this is that it's like Pa- it's like Patrick Stewart doing an impression of Picard. It's like even all the catchphrases, the make it so, the engage.
it's one of those things that when you look at it on the website, it looks like the original thing, and then when you actually get it, it's
Mhm.
definitely not.
It's like this is 3/4 scale. What the hell? This
Oh
isn't
my
what I
God.
ordered. This says
Oh, but it's gonna be
Transmorphers
so
on it.
funny. Oh, jeez. Oh, okay. So yeah, we know that now that Picard has been replaced, and his replacement seems to be very, very close to the Picard that we all know.
Even down to the medical aspects
Yeah,
of it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Is just when you find out what's going on, all of that stuff can be explained. But anyway, so there's some the two other people there. One of them is a Bolian woman,
Yep. It
and
looks like
the
she was
other,
3D printed. She has the seal going down the center of her body, even over her head, where she has a part in the hair.
yeah, well, that's what Bolians do.
Yep.
That's
It's
a
just
Bolian.
that's just unfortunate hairstyle is like you got this deep middle part because that's where your seam goes.
Well,
It's
and that's
like,
the thing. The most Bolians that you see are often just bald.
yeah, it's like how does that gestation work? You like when you're a kid, is like is it like mitosis until you finally merge your two halves at the very final bit before getting born?
I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
just very weird that they have this center seal. It's just like you took two halves and stuck them together.
Well, that's just the way Bolians are made,
Yep.
and different strokes for different folks. But
Makes you wonder if it's a zipper.
as
You just unzip them and peel them apart. Zzz.
just me laughing at everything. There's also a Mazarian there named Thol. And so there's three of them, but there's four beds. And so Picard is expecting a
Yep.
fourth person to show up. And yeah. And
They have a
then
pink hockey puck to eat.
yes, they basically the biggest gummy you've ever seen
Yep.
is their food.
It's like heated
And
rivalry merchandise.
killing me, dude. They're killing me. Oh, okay. So yeah, basically, they're going through shock training. So basically, when they do something wrong, they get shocked, or when and doing something wrong is like trying to escape. So,
Yeah, it's
so
doing that game Simon on the door panel.
yep. Yeah. So the other Picard, the Timu Picard,
Uh-huh.
um, he's back on the ship and has decided that they're going to Lanka cluster at warp 2, and for whatever reason trying to keep them away from the hood, obviously, which
Right.
definitely, if they were to actually get to the hood, that would make things very hard for our captors. So yeah, and we find out that Mazarians do not do confrontation of any kind. Basically, if a conqueror comes in, they just roll over.
Yep, they've
And
been their planet's been conquered like 6 times because they don't resist.
yeah,
And this guy claims that they're this alien race has no enemies. It's like, well, you clearly do. You just don't resist them. That doesn't mean they're
Yeah.
not your enemies. It's like, oh, everybody loves us. Nobody hates us. It's like,
Yeah.
really? You think so?
Yeah. And the thing is that for being someone who is conflict averse and just rolls over for whoever's conquering them, he's really quite contentious.
Yeah, he says no a lot for somebody who's supposed to roll over and just let people trample all over you.
Yeah, he's basically being a spoiled child
Yeah.
and thinks he knows better than everybody else. And then finally we get our fourth person who is from Chalna, and his name is Isak, and he has the most lower lip tusks that I have ever seen
Yep.
in Star Trek.
They're
And
four narrow ones that look like they would break
they're
very easily.
so they're so pointy.
Yep.
And the actor who is in this makeup, God bless you, sir.
hmm
Even though I don't necessarily believe in God, but man, that was a hard thing to do
Right.
with that makeup on his face, especially that lower lip. That was just, I wonder how many times he actually stabbed himself without trying,
Keep
you
poking
know.
himself in the lip with his own teeth.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, you'd think that orc tusks are bad. This
Yeah.
guy has it worse
Yeah, like
because
needles.
yeah, how would you like a bottom lip full of long needles that can kill you at any second?
Right.
So this guy, of course, Isak, is very contentious as well, but in a different way. He basically comes from a planet that is chaotic. There's no law and order, nothing. They're just conquerors.
Yeah,
And
you always wonder about that. Is this
yeah,
guy, does he do space travel too? Or
yeah,
are they
it's hard to
locked onto the
say.
planet? It's like, do we know? Because he doesn't seem unfamiliar with space travel.
Oh no, he's definitely not unfamiliar with space travel. So I would assume as
Yeah.
much as possible that he definitely was on a ship of some kind. But that's or a planet, obviously. I mean, they could have just taken him off a planet. Who knows?
Well, I guess I'm just falling into the pit trap of thinking anarchy means lack of structure.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you have no organization doesn't mean you're not organized,
Yep.
because it's about having a hierarchy or not having a hierarchy. And
Yeah. They don't
that's
have a
a lot of
hierarchy.
actual anarchists will argue that no, it's that we just don't have a state or a government overruling us, but we still can be organized through cooperation and stuff. But that seems very utopian,
Yeah.
and just this consideration that nobody's going to overstep and do a might makes right kind of thing, or push people around or anything, that just it's everybody's going to agree upon without a system of government to work together,
Mm-hmm.
which, it, I guess, is a possibility. It's just a hard one to realize, I suppose, when we're so
Yes.
accustomed to systems of government doing the thing.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. Is that organization is good and bad. You can do it right and you can do it wrong so easily.
Right.
So I guess they just on Chalna, they just do what they want
Yeah.
and respect other people's ability to do whatever they want.
Well, it sounds like it's chaotic. There's a lot of people murdering each other because, lawlessness and anarchy. It's just like there's a way to do lawlessness and anarchy, provided the people aren't themselves, I guess, aggressive or violent or
Yeah.
that sort of thing. I guess if your morality has evolved over time to the point where you just understand on a biological level the dangers of hurting others, or how stealing other people's property is not good because you don't want your own stolen.
Mm-hmm.
If you even have a concept of private property, because maybe anarchists don't. Maybe it's like being communist. There is no private property.
Yeah. Well, the what was I gonna say? I was gonna say
I don't know.
something. Oh, I remember now. Basically, and this is not necessarily pointed at the inhabitants of Chalna, but really the golden rule is the only rule that you need.
Oh, don't be a
Don't do
dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick. Don't do
Yeah.
something to somebody that you wouldn't want done to yourself.
Yeah, and
Simple.
a lot of people would say that's like a biblical thing, and in a way it is, but
Mm-mm.
it goes like before that even.
Yeah.
And there's, I think, in some Indian religious text, like Hindu religious text, I think it might be the Bhagavad Gita, it says something very similar.
Hmm.
That if you don't want ill done towards you, don't do ill towards others, which is, another way of saying the same thing.
Yeah. But when you think about it, that one rule
Hmm.
covers everything.
Yeah, it's very similar to Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative, is that treat people in the world or make choices in the world that you would like to live in if everybody else were to make the same choices.
Hmm.
So if everybody were to behave the same as you do, would that be beneficial or detrimental to society and act that way? And that's really the only moral code you need
Yep.
is would it be a good world if everyone were to do the same thing I'm doing right now?
Yep. So, and the sad thing of this is that I blacked out after you mentioned Immanuel Kant, and in my brain I was going, Immanuel Kant was
Manuel
a real
Kant.
percent. It was very rarely stable.
A Monty Python philosophy song with all the
Yeah.
Bruces that
Hmm.
the what university in Australia that's philosophy teachers.
Yep.
They're all
And
named
is your
Bruce.
name not Bruce?
Yep.
No, it's Michael. Do you mind changing it to Bruce?
Just to
Anyway,
avoid any confusion.
yeah. G'day, Bruce.
No.
G'day, Bruce. Where's Bruce? I don't know, Bruce.
And you see the video, televised version of it, and they've got the hats with the corks on them to keep the flies away.
Of course they do.
Yep.
Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I didn't know Monty Python was going to come into it, but there we are.
Yep.
Anyway, so basically, fake Timu Picard is asking his command crew to do weird shit like
Yeah, it's kind of divide and conquer because he
yes,
first
I
gets
wrote that down.
Riker
I
and
actually
is
wrote that
like,
down, dividing and conquering.
okay, I know that you like to be informed, but right now I can't really inform you as much as I would like to. And he's
Hmm.
got his little Earl Grey hot because he's still cosplaying as himself. And it's like Riker's like, yeah, okay, I dig it. I won't be as, communicative with you as I am usually, so that comes off a little odd. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
it's funny because it's not like this hasn't happened before
right.
in the series. When Picard has to keep things under his hat and under his hair. I don't know.
Under what hair?
Hey, he's
The
got
stuff on the
fringe in the
sides?
back. He's got fringe around the back. Anyway, yeah, he's now gone to Geordi and said that he wants to increase the efficiency of the engines from 93% to 95%. And so Geordi's gonna do that, but he doesn't know exactly why. But again,
Yep.
everybody's still we trust our leader sort of thing.
Yep.
But it's most definitely dividing and conquering. And
Yeah, it
there's
stops
another,
Troy and
yeah,
and in asking her about the thoughts of the crew regarding him, and it's like same as always. I mean, they're all curious why you're doing this, but they're not concerned. And then he's really puts up a red flag saying, "Well, inform me if they do get concerned," which is like, "Hello, wait a minute, what?"
well, yeah, and
Put on the brakes.
he says to her, how far do you think that trust goes?
Yeah, which is another telling sign. Is like, okay,
Red flags
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, the crew trusts in their captain. He's like, well, how far does that trust go?
Hmm.
And you ask a question like that, and you're like, ooh, oh,
Hmm.
and you're pulling out your collar,
Yeah.
her
Uh,
low neck collar,
ugh.
plunging neckline.
Again, the only good thing that Jellicoe ever did was make her wear a uniform.
Yep.
So,
So, yep. And
yeah,
then
then he moves
Beverly as
on.
well.
Yeah, moves on to Beverly, goes in for a physical a full
Could
month
say that. Yeah,
before.
and you could say that too. Just
Well, the
moving on
funny,
her and a physical.
yeah, yep, you can say that. But and the thing is that's out of character.
Yep.
because
Yeah, because
she usually,
has to pull him screaming and kicking into medbay to get a checkup, and here he is
yeah.
volunteering for one,
And
just to
here's the
confirm
thing.
that he is Jean-Luc Picard and he is in good health.
Yeah. But that's the thing about this is like, why would anyone be kicking and screaming to go into medbay, get scanned, and then leave 5 minutes later?
Yep.
How is that a big deal?
I guess for Jean-Luc is inconvenience because he's got other things to do. He's a busy man. He can't have his
It's
schedule interrupted by a
he's
doctor's
got
visit.
five he's got 5 fucking minutes. He's got 5 fucking minutes to just go down
Yeah.
to med bay, sick bay, and get his, scan that takes like 3 seconds. God.
They can
Anyway,
transport directly to sick bay. Just do that and save a couple of
yeah,
minutes.
yeah. It's like that's a
Don't
bunch
even
of
have to do
bullshit.
a turbo lift. Just beam and then beam back, or
Yeah,
at least beam down.
it's dumb. It's just dumb to put that particular predilection in something so futuristic
Yep.
where a physical is not even remotely invasive.
Yep.
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
just
when you have universal health care,
mhm.
you don't bother to get a checkup.
Yeah, it's dumb. And
Yep.
and again, all you got to do is go in, get scanned, leave.
Yep.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah, get a light
So
waved at you and you're out of there.
yeah, and he invites her to dinner. Ew.
Yeah.
And she goes to dinner, ew, and he's putting the moves on her, ew, ew, and she's suspicious. She's just like, no,
Well,
no,
at
I'm not falling
first
for
she
that.
seemed to be quite into it because she was giving him dreamy eyes and leaning forward, and they had
Yeah,
kind of a long shot, kind of an establishing shot, and you see her with her legs all curled and kind of pointed towards him, and she's leaning towards him. So, body language wise, she's
yeah, but
giving off symbols
well, the
or
thing is
signals.
they know each other and have known each other for a
Yep.
very long time. Their relationship predates TNG.
Well, Jack had to come
So
from somewhere.
you mean Wesley?
No, Jack, their son.
Oh, their son later. Sorry. Yep. Named for her dead first husband. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's sad.
So I was beginning to wonder, are they going to get it on? Is this actually Jack's dad?
Nope. No, it's too early for that.
Yeah,
It's too early for that because that basically Jack happens after TNG
right.
has gone to bed, and
Yep, something about a waterfall anyway.
yeah, the TNG has been shipped off to
It's like sex under a
uh
waterfall. How do you keep standing up?
you don't.
Hmm.
You can't do it in a waterfall. You could do it in the pool of the waterfall. You could do it
Ah,
behind the waterfall,
behind the
but you
waterfall
cannot do it in the waterfall.
where the
You will
pirate
be
treasure is.
pounded into the ground.
Right.
So
Well, isn't that the
that's
point?
not that way. The
Okay.
water will pound you into the ground, and I'm not talking about sperm, so shut up.
Well, there are older, so it's kind of like assistance. If you can like back your way out, you can get thrust your way back down again
That's not how it
by the
works,
water.
Dave. That's
Okay.
not how it works.
Yeah, and
I
water
don't
sex
know
never
if
works out quite well anyway, so
yeah, but I'm just trying to
that's
get you
seen
to
in
imagine
striptease. Or is it
how
striptease? No, showgirls.
never mind. I'm not going down that lane
Okay,
anymore.
so they had sex by a waterfall, not in a
No,
waterfall.
we don't know that. We know that there was a waterfall there. That doesn't mean they had sex by it. But anyway,
Okay.
basically this is a point where I'm like, how does this imposter know everything? Now I've seen this episode before, but it's probably been
Uh-huh.
30 years since I've seen it, and I couldn't remember what was going on. But I was really starting to suspect the Bolian woman.
Right.
And because I'm just like,
Why are
especially
you
when
here?
Picard tests her without
Mm-hmm.
her knowing she's being tested,
Yep.
and he talks about this one plague that she's talking about the things that he's done, and he's like, oh, and this thing that was actually classified, and she knew about it, and there's no way a cadet, which is what she was dressed as, could know about it. So that was his confirmation that she was definitely the one watching everybody else and just pretending to be a captor.
Yep.
And that was when I wrote down the Bolian is the spy. So yeah, the biggest swing of of this episode is when Picard goes down to 10 forward, buys, it doesn't buy, says every ales for everyone. Maybe some people don't like ales, Timu Picard,
Yeah,
and then starts singing old
like
seafaring
sea
songs,
shanty. Yeah,
shanties, and just no, just no. And and Worf and Geordi are sitting there together, and they're like pretending that they know the words, and then as soon as Picard walks away, still singing to other people, they're just like,
yeah,
and then Geordi goes over to Deanna, and Riker is just like, this is not right, this is not right, this is not our captain. So, and Riker was suspicious before that, but now he's got
wait,
other people seeing the things that he's seeing. And so yeah, they all get together in somebody's quarters. I don't know whose. They get together
yeah.
in
It's like one
somebody's
of
quarters.
those little conferences, the little ready room like conferences, but without the captain.
Yeah, well, they weren't around a table though. They were in
Yep.
somebody's quarters.
Oh yeah, and there's
So
drinks being served, and it looked like it was hard alcohol too. Had that look
everybody needs
of
a shot
like,
of whiskey after
yeah,
watching
yeah, that's
Picard
what it looked
sing.
like. It looked like a spirit of some kind.
Yeah. So yeah. And they've got to do something. They don't know exactly when to make their move, but since Picard is
Diverted?
diverted the ship to this pulsar that has no bearing on anything, and keeps telling Wesley to go in closer and closer and closer. Cat wants out. There you go, buddy.
Yeah, and the
Or
ship's
not.
systems can only last so long within the radiation of this pulsar.
Yeah, and he's telling them to go in farther, which would actually kill them all.
Hmm.
It would kill them all because the shields can barely stand it at the distance that they're at, and they only have 18 minutes before the shields start failing.
Right.
So for him to say, yeah, go into 10 million kilometers, and that's when Riker's like, belay that order. We're done with
Hmm.
this bitch. Let's return Timu Picard because he is not working out for us.
Yep.
So yeah, but he basically removes Picard from command. And the thing is, while he's trying to do that, our Timu Picard is gaslighting Riker up the ass.
Yeah.
And Riker's just like, nah, no, you're not
And
our
then
guy.
turns to Worf and say, remove Picard. And Worf's like, no.
No, remove Riker.
Or remove Riker. Yeah, Picard's like, or Timu. But jeez. Timu
Whoops.
Picard is to Worf, says remove Riker, and Worf says no. Jeez, that's a
Mhm.
lot of
Well,
names.
he doesn't even say it. He just folds his arms and looks straight ahead.
Yeah. And then Riker gives yet another name, Wesley, the instructions to turn tail and skedaddle, get away from the pulsar, which he
Yep.
looks around and then agrees to. So
Yeah,
they
he
turn
takes the
tail and
temperature of
run.
the bridge and is like,
Hmm.
"Yep, we're doing this." So, we're back to the cell, and they've been working on the panel. They've been able to eliminate the shock function, so they don't get shocked like really small
By a
animals trying to.
kryptonite ray.
Yeah, but
It's a green beam that makes them writhe around like Superman
yep,
when he's exposed to kryptonite.
kryptonite. So, uh, and then they finally get the doors open, and there's just a straight up wall there,
Yep.
and uh, everybody's starting to descend into anger, and our Mazarian is not helping in
Yeah,
any
everybody's
way.
accusing each other of being the spy, the mole. It's like an episode of
Yeah,
Traitors.
but that's the thing is Picard knows it's the Bolian woman, the Bolian
Right.
cadet, and he explains how he knows that it's her. And he's like, yeah, this thing that I mentioned and you agreed with, that was classified. There's no way you could have known that as a cadet. You wouldn't have had access to those files. And so she reveals herself as an alien with a really big face, got a really big face,
Hmm.
big face, big jaw, big face.
Yeah,
And
they're like the moon guy from McDonald's, whatever the fuck his name was.
Mac at
Mac
night.
at Mac at Night, is that what it was? Mac at Night,
Yep.
Mac at Night?
That was Doug Jones in there.
That was Doug Jones, but they look like that. They've got big foreheads and big chins, and they're
Yeah.
very crescent moon shaped faces.
Yeah. And basically what they were doing is getting various species reactions to authority.
Yep.
And yeah, because they they didn't do it in the right way. If you want to see something, go to a planet and hide yourself in a little hut or whatever and just watch people. You do not need to kidnap them and put them in a cell and give them food, which one of the four people cannot eat,
Right.
and causing all of these things, this strife to see how they'll react. That is just really, what's the word I'm looking for here? Insensitive.
Yeah, it's so were there two parallel tests then? The
Mm-hmm.
test of having Picard in the prison to see, or this jail cell, or this laboratory, whatever they want to call it, his rat's cage.
Mm-hmm.
Have Picard there to see how his authority influenced these people that are reluctant to follow authority or easily follow authority. And then you have
Mm-hmm.
Timu Picard on the other one pushing the limits of how far people will go to follow someone.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a weird, like, blind test by switching out your Picards. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, here's study A is how the proper Picard functions in this scenario, and then how the Timu one functions and how the crew responds to the perverse version of that.
Yeah. And the thing is that these guys don't really actually seem that aggressive,
No,
but they just don't understand that to imprison someone is like the worst thing you can do before
well, it
killing
was
them.
like that episode of Enterprise with those aliens that were observing how people dealt with like a critical sickness
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
just observed how far they would go to try to save the lives of somebody. And
Mm-hmm.
they just kept doing this over and over again. It's like you keep killing off people. For what reason? You already have the data. How
Yeah.
many more times do you have to do this before you get the answer you need?
And if you're so advanced, you shouldn't even be doing this in the first place.
Yeah, it's like, why are you hurting so many people? And I guess it would be, a metaphor for animal testing, maybe. It's like, you already know the
Mm,
answer. Why are you still doing this?
yeah. Yeah. And I do love how once Picard is back on the bridge and he's basically talking to these guys. Well, he just gives a look to Riker, and Riker
Uh-huh.
gives a look to Worf, and everybody's got, and then Worf gives a look to Data, etc. And without even saying a word, he has his crew imprison these two that have come onto the bridge of the
Yep.
Enterprise, and they freak the fuck out because they don't like being captives. Oh, really? You
Well,
don't like being a captive? Then stop doing it to other people.
yeah, if people don't know empathy, I guess they can at least learn sympathy by
Yeah.
being forced to endure the same thing that they had done unto others.
Mm-hmm. Just golden rule, folks. That's all you
Yep.
need. That's all you need. Treat people like you want to be treated.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Categorical imperative the hell out of them.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, of course Picard doesn't throw him in the brig or anything like that, because that would just be, that would be proving something that he doesn't want to prove. He's higher, he's more elevated than that.
Mm.
Um, but he does let them stew for a little bit
Yeah.
until finally he releases them, and he's like, "Don't do this again." Do it again
Right.
and we'll find out. Basically, it's not, he doesn't actually say that, but it's kind of implied. It's like,
Right.
don't do this again, because if we find out that you're doing this again,
Yep.
but they it's just implied. They don't actually have to say that. And so finally the Enterprise gets on its way to meet with the Hood.
The
We
hood.
don't actually see that part, but yeah. So there you go. Another
There
bunch
you
of
go.
aliens doing experiments on hapless beings. Except Picard wasn't so hapless. Didn't know that was going to happen, did you
Yep.
guys?
Well,
So,
they must have sort of known because of the authority thing, because that's specifically why they were doing the test is to test authority. And so if they took this authority figure and put him in the scenario that maybe he would figure it out, I mean, that's a possibility. That's a risk that you have to at least plan for somewhat, is that, this agent, this subject of your experiment will actually discover that they're being experimented on. That seems like a foregone conclusion, that at least eventually, the more you do this test, the more you run this test, the more likely you are to encounter somebody who's going to solve it.
Mhm.
If you put a riddle in front of enough people, eventually somebody's going to solve it.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think that they were looking for someone to solve it. They just wanted to see how they would react to the situation.
Yep.
They really they made it so that they couldn't get out. So there was nothing to solve unless you have somebody cat climbing over my shoulder. Oh God. Dude, your claws are thick. I forgot what I was saying. Doesn't matter. I think what I was trying to say is it's not about authority with the four prisoners because they have to work together. So it isn't about
Right.
authority there. The authority test is on the ship to see
Well,
how far somebody can push before the rest of the crew goes, nope, this is not okay.
I think it might also be about authority in the jewelry store part of the story, and that they took Picard for a reason, maybe not only to replace him, but to see how his authority would play against the other people in the room, especially one that bends easily towards authority and one that does not. And how can Picard mitigate between those two people and form a bridge to arrive to some sort of conclusion or teamwork or something? And then, of course, our Bolian being the observer in this instance.
Yeah. Do you want to go out again, buddy? Is that why you're hovering?
He's
Okay.
back and forth, is he?
He is
Uh,
a
it's
cat who doesn't know
it's
what he
his dinner time. He's
wants.
probably expecting me to feed him.
Yep. Oops. I lost my thing for my mic. I'm not going to put it back on. It'll probably make a noise. All right, then. Do you have any other thoughts that you want to share about this episode, Allegiance?
Oh, well, wonder if this is technically an A-B plot or just an A plot, because it does split between the two different stories, the two different Picards, but since they're related, it's like, are they two different stories or are they one connected story?
I say one connected story.
Yeah, because the one connected story, there's a lot of time devoted to this episode, and it also takes its time.
Mm-hmm.
This is very deliberately paced
Yeah.
and very cozy. There's a lot of interpersonal scenes, a lot of just talking heads, in rooms with the Timu Picard trying to convince people of things and not doing a very good job of it. As tests go, it's not a very good one.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like it's set up to fail because Timu Picard's behaving so strangely and requesting things in such a suspicious way. Where there's a way to do this, a way to go to the pulsar that would not attract that much attention. But for some reason, this is the way they do the test, I guess, to give them the fighting chance to solve it and discover that it's a fake captain. But yeah, it's a cozy, languid episode.
Yeah. Except for all the shocking.
Oh yeah, there's some shockings and some pain beams and
Yep. There's a
and
cat behind me who
sea
doesn't know what the
shanties.
fuck he wants.
Nope, he does not. So
So,
what are your thoughts?
I actually did enjoy this episode. It's not my favorite one in the world, but that's okay. Not everything has to be my favorite, but I did appreciate the humor that we did get, especially at the end with Riker saying, "I find it hard to believe you're that good of a singer,"
Yeah.
which obviously Patrick Stewart is because he did it. But I I can understand where the aliens are coming from because they just don't understand us. They don't
Right.
understand other species. And because they're so afraid of outside things, this is how they learn. But, they can learn another way. There's a better way to do this than kidnapping people and replacing them with Timus. So,
Yep.
yeah. All right then. So that means we need to find out what episode is next.
We do. What's my number this time?
Give me a second. Excuse me. Give me a second to get back to the spreadsheet, and I will tell you that 962 is your top number.
I was gonna say that. And here we go.
Okay.
304.
304. I'm gonna guess
That sounds like
that
another
could be-
TNG.
It could be. It could be. Might be Deep Space Nine. Depends on how early that was. 304, you said.
Mm-hmm. 304.
I was right. It's Deep Space Nine, Season 2, Episode 14. No, sorry.
Oh,
Episode. I skipped a line. Armageddon Game. It's Armageddon Game. DS9.
Armageddon game.
Yep. DS9, Season 2, Episode 13.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna write this down.
Yep, that way we have a record of it, and I won't have to go back into this episode to find out what we're going to watch.
Yep. And this is. Whoops. What the hell happened there?
I don't know.
Oh, I see. Something. Anyway, the spreadsheet went a little wonky. What are you doing, spreadsheet? I don't know what I pressed that did that. Good grief.
That's annoying when you hit a button and it screws up a spreadsheet. That's when it, I hope there's an undo button. So
Yeah,
whatever
that's
I
what
did, I can fix.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now, and it's just not working. So, oh, I fixed it. Okay, we're good. All right, so everybody, you have your homework for next episode, Armageddon Game, Season 2, Episode 13.
I'm getting out of here.
I'm getting out of here. You got anything you want to tell people?
Fuck Kansas.
Okay.
For the whole driver's license revoking for anybody who's trans because of their gender on their driver's licenses. That's bullshit. Just found out recently that the Birthday Massacre had a new album that came out last year, so I might have to pick that up. It's called Pathways. It's only 8 tracks
Nice.
long, which is kind of a short album. It's more like an EP. What else really to discuss? Not much. Just struggled a bit with syncing my Apple Music to my iPhone for a little while because I had a whole bunch of synced data. It turned out to be videos on my phone that I hadn't deleted. Some of them from a long time ago, like me just taking pictures of hail outside, and I never deleted it. And it's like, well, there's, a few seconds of video on a phone can take up quite a lot of data, so go in and delete those and clear out some space. So
cool.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Oh, I watched Prey, enjoyed the hell out of that. My favorite
Yes.
Predator movie, which, I guess it's a hit and miss franchise. So, I mean, this is really good
It's really,
for
really
a
good.
Predator
And
film.
I did not have any idea that it was a Predator film when we started
Yep.
watching because I knew nothing about it.
Yep.
And the funny thing is that the title Prey was making me think of Predator Badlands.
Right.
And I told you next week for my pick, we're doing Predator Badlands, which is funny because I had no idea until about, 5 minutes in that this was a Predator movie that we were watching.
Yep.
It's so good, guys. It's really the best Predator movie I've ever seen. And it was very well done, and female protagonist, which I'm sure pissed off all of the white boys.
Oh yeah, also Native Americans. So,
Yeah.
First Nation people.
Yep.
And having them being so well represented, and yeah, could piss off a lot of people. But I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, they were the First Nation. They were there before us.
And then playing Red Dead Redemption, it's like all these scenes is like, well, that looks like an area in Red Dead Redemption. That looks like an area in Red Dead Redemption. Like the area where there must have been a forest fire and they tied him to that tree. It's like, that looks like a location right out of Red Dead Redemption, near where you can find one of the trappers if you have legendary items to trade. And just some of the valleys and fields, and when they were digging up like just the raw carrots, the wild carrots, it's like, yeah, you can do that in Red Dead Redemption. Just run across wild carrots and pluck them out.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, as usual, thanks to Dan for allowing us to use his spreadsheet. Thanks to Patrick for surviving in Minnesota. fuck fascism and
Oh, hell yeah.
fuck ICE.
Mhm.
And everybody out there who is fighting the good fight, we see you, we love you.
Yeah.
And let's all stick together, because together we are stronger than we are apart.
Indeed.
So next week we'll talk to you again, and until then, live long and prosper.
Still up.